I'm not. Glenn Greenwald, folks, was on this show called Triggernometry. Triggernometry. In fact, let me look this up real quick. Triggernometry. What is this? A free speech YouTube show? Okay. Open fact-based debate. Oh. All right. Open fact-based debate. All right. So they're about debating facts, but the show is called Triggernometry. All right. So Glenn Greenwald had some very interesting things to say. Let's watch.
I actually, it's funny. I was on Fox last night and I made the point that I think the destruction of Parler is one of the most overlooked stories of the last year, if not the single most overlooked in terms of what it really showed. The only thing I would compare it to is the decision by Facebook and Twitter to ban any reporting on the Hunter Biden archive in the weeks leading. That was absolutely extraordinary. But that got some attention. The destruction of Parler happened so quickly, and it was in the wake of the January 6th riot that a lot of people overlooked it. But what people forget is that, after January 6th, when Facebook and Twitter removed Donald Trump from the internet, basically, people migrated to Parler because they wanted a place where you could be free of that just ability of big tech to just zap even the elected president of the most powerful country in the world off the internet. It's incredibly chilling. And Parler became such a success that it was the...
Parler, folks. Parler! The website where its users talked about injecting bleach. Parler! The website that coordinated and planned a threat and an insurrection to overturn the results of an election. Right? Parler! A website where people believed that Donald Trump would be reinstated as president if he lost. Parler, a website where QAnon went from culture to mainstream. But it gets worse.
The single most downloaded app on Apple and Google Play stores. More than Facebook, more than Instagram, more than TikTok, more than anything. It was the most popular app that people were downloading and using. And AOC and a bunch of other Democratic politicians went onto Twitter and said, Google and Apple, how can you allow a platform like this that is enabling insurrection?
I don't even understand how you get AOC. How do you bring AOC into this? That's the thing. They just say AOC is clickbait, right? It's yep, AOC exposed for banning Parler from the internet, as if she has that kind of power.
Right-wing violence on your stores, and then obviously knowing that the Democratic Party was about to take over all branches of government, when Apple and Google heard that, they responded. They kicked Parler off their store so you couldn't download it anymore. And then AOC went back on Twitter and said, thank you, Apple and Google. Now, what about you, Amazon? Why are you still hosting Parler on your web service? And then Amazon did what Google and Apple did, which was obey the demand and kick Parler off. And within 48 hours, this union of big tech monopolies and the Democratic Party destroyed the most single popular app that people were using to communicate with one another on the planet.
On the planet. On the planet. Not in specific subcultures of America over a week. Right? People were going to Parler to see what the fuck it was. Over the course of a week. That does not make it the most popular communications platform on the planet, bro. What is this guy on? How do people like Ben Burgess still take this guy seriously? What the fuck? Is this guy on drugs? Let me tell you right now. I'm on drugs. I got really high last night, and I'm still pretty high this morning, all right? But even I can see that this motherfucker is on something. He is in a fantasy land. He is tripping on something. The idea that he thinks Parler was the most used communications platform on the planet. Were other countries? Was China using Parler every day? Was India using was using Parler every day? Was anyone in Europe using Parler on a daily basis to get their freedom news? The most popular communications platform on the planet Bro, what? And then we have these dumb fuck motherfuckers, like whoever these guys are.
I actually
Right?
on the
Like,
internet.
let me get them on the thumbnail. Look at these motherfuckers. Whoever these guys are, look at them. They look like they're so bored. They're bored out of their fucking minds. They're like, is the show over yet? They're just providing this isn't trigonometry about fact-based debate. You're gonna let someone go out there and say AOC banned free speech and that Parler was the most popular communication platform on the planet on a show about fact-based debate? Where's the fact-based debate? Seriously, man, this is some really cringy stuff. Reminder, Glenn Greenwald said he would come on my show last year. I think this was like November of last year. We're getting to like the 1-year anniversary of Glenn Greenwald dodging me. Isn't that interesting? Glenn Greenwald dodges me. Ben Burgess dodges me. Right, Ben Burgess still publicly defends Glenn Greenwald every day. I'm just throwing that out there. It's a retweet. It's an opinion of somebody. But this guy said he would come on my show last year and then ghosted me after we were planning on setting up a date. And he goes on shows like Trigonometry? What? What a loser. What a loser, folks.